So this is how to scale a clothing brand through organic social and also through advertising. I've been doing a lot of research on some clothing brands, and we also work with some clothing brands as well on how we can increase our conversion rate and also how we can also increase the amount of organic following that we have and how many organic purchases that we can get. So I've been taking a look at some big name competitors out there like Alo, Gymshark, Calvin Klein. There's more and more, but I've been taking a look at all their sites and how they structure their landing pages, their advertisements, their organic pages to actually replicate that because they do a really good job at it. So in this video, I'm gonna explain to you basically how to scale your clothing brand. If you have a new clothing brand or if you have a mid-sized clothing brand and you want to scale it to be something big like Calvin Klein, like Gymshark, like those brands, this is the video for you because I've been doing a lot of research on this and I am going to walk you through everything that those big brands do so you can actually implement it yourself. So organic social is a big part of this. Organic social media strategy, content diversity. Now you need to go beyond your product photos. You need to showcase a lifestyle, not just clothes. So this is really big because sometimes I see on beginners websites when they're selling clothing that they just show the actual piece of clothing. Now you will have a higher conversion rate if you show the people wearing the piece of clothing, not just the clothing piece itself. That's a big part of it. It's just human psychology. People want to see the clothing on other people to reference how it might look on them. Now, number two is aspirational content. That means you have creators and places that your audience wants to be and showing activities that your audience dreams of or wants to be doing. So for example, if I have a swimwear company that I'm selling some exotic swimwear shorts that look very European, I'm gonna have a lot of product photos of models wearing those swim shorts in Europe, maybe swimming out in a beach or in a pool in Europe, overlooking a nice, beautiful Europe coast, or maybe on a sailboat on the coast of Europe, but places where they wanna be because that's where they wanna be and that's where that piece of clothing takes them to. And so you can do this with small creators as well. So if you have a very modern, hip clothing brand, you can just have a bunch of small creators that are in New York, Chicago, very populated areas like that, wear your clothing out and about in the city, grab photos, grab videos, and you can throw that on your page. And you could also use that for advertising. So just showing your audience, hey, this is what people with our clothing are doing. Now, number three is brand storytelling. Now, brand storytelling is a really big part of this because if you look at what brand storytelling is, it's not just about the clothing, it's about the whole experience of the clothing, right? So we really need to resonate emotionally with our audience. So what does that mean? That means, hey, if I'm Gymshark, Ben Francis talks about all the time about how he was in the gym and he was working at Domino's to create Gymshark and to fund Gymshark. Well, that was a really good story that propelled people to buy the product because they really believed in this guy. Hey, he's a young entrepreneur. He works out. He's like us. He's hustling. He's grinding. I really want to support his brand, and his story of how he made Gymshark and how the brand came to be is super inspirational. And that's why I like Gymshark. So a story like that can really connect with the audience. And we see this all the time with tech founders like Google, Apple, Microsoft, even Starbucks, how Starbucks was founded. And the storytelling part of the business is one of the biggest parts of the business to really push people to go buy your products and to actually come and work for your business. So that is super big. Now, number four is influencer collaborations. This could be really big creators with people that have over millions of followers, or it could be smaller creators from the 10,000 to 50,000 to 100,000 to 200,000 followers on either, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it may be. But when I'm talking about influencer collaborations, I mean more in the celebrity style. So maybe you get Bad Bunny to wear your clothing or some big time celebrity or TV show celebrity, whoever it may be. That will help also boost your brand. It's a little expensive, but it will bring a lot of eyeballs and a lot of people will see, hey, I really like Bad Bunny. I like the way he dresses. I want to dress like him and buy that piece of clothing. But remember, when you are posting on your social media account as a clothing brand, you need to really inspire and connect with your actual audience. It shouldn't all be about the display of the product. It's about creating a world that your audience wants to be a part of. And so some good examples of this are right here. So we have the Gymshark page. Obviously, as you can see, it's full of people lifting in the gym, either posing in the mirror or they have pictures of them actual lifting, all in Gymshark clothing. It's exactly what their audience wants to be doing. They want to be in the gym right now. So really good example. And you have Steve Madden, super hip and super big city like New York, Chicago. And as you can see, they have people walking throughout the city like this photo right here in the bottom left. And then also the pinned photo that they have saying fall commutes in New York City is greater than most things. So another good example, Steve Madden. And then Alo Yoga is another really good example of this, of showing people doing yoga, people on the beach, is living that lifestyle they really want to have, which is really a, I would say, Californian lifestyle, where it's like, go grab your coffee, go grab your green juice, go to the beach, go do your yoga, go do your breathing, all that stuff. They do a really good job at posting all that on social media. So when it comes to actually building hype around your brand, there's only two ways to really do this. We talked about them a little bit before, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper into them now, which is one, celebrity endorsements, and number two, which is targeted social media content. So the reason why I like celebrity endorsements is because it can really help boost your brand to get somewhere you want to be. And we saw this with a brand like Vuori. Vuori is another clothing company that's very similar to Alo or Lululemon. They partnered with Livy Dunn, who was a big creator, obviously on TikTok at the time. Most of you probably know Livy Dunn. She's an LSU gymnast, and she really helped explode their brand. Now, obviously, big following, celebrity. She probably got paid out really well from it, but that really helped explode their brand and get them going. Now, do they still partner with Livy Dunn? Yes, they do, but they also have a lot of smaller creators making content for them that really show the lifestyle people want to be living. So if you're a medium-sized clothing brand or you're a smaller clothing brand, you're not as big as, Gymshark, Alo, Vuori, Lululemon, all that stuff, you may want to think, hey, maybe I can partner with a celebrity. It's expensive, but it may give a big boost to my brand. So I can go put more resources into smaller creators who are really going to show that lifestyle of how people want to be living with my clothing. And there's also a big amount of credibility that comes from that creator if they have a strong reputation behind them. So if a creator doesn't partner with a lot of brands, usually they partner with you and they haven't done anything wrong. They're not, crazy. They're not a criminal or anything like that. They have a strong credibility that really helps boost your brand. Now, when taking the targeted social media content approach, you really leverage smaller creators. So that means people from that 10,000 to all the way up to 200,000 followers. And that's really on Instagram and TikTok, because it's really easy to gain followers on those platforms. YouTube is a little bit harder, but you can find a lot of these creators through tools and softwares online. You can just do a quick Google search, and there's so many platforms out there. I'm not going to shout them out because I don't want to give them free advertising, but there are so many tools out there that you can literally use on Google to find creators and then go message them on Instagram or go message them through that platform. But it's a really effective way because it's going to be a lot cheaper than partnering with a big celebrity. A lot of these creators will do brand deals for $500 to $1,000, maybe a little bit more, or maybe even a little bit less than $500. So it all depends on how much money you're throwing out and how much money you want to spend. And it's a really effective way to get a lot of social media content, but also get a lot of content to use for advertising. So if I had to personally choose between a celebrity or doing the micro influencer route, I would do the micro influencer route, just because it would give me a lot more content that I could use on my social page, and also I could use for advertising. And I could go put more money into advertising now since I didn't spend that on a celebrity. That's the way I would do it. If I was like a medium-sized clothing brand and didn't have a big budget. Now, if I was a massive clothing brand and had a massive budget, I would do a celebrity and do micro influencers. But some of you guys have a small budget out there, and I get that. I would go down the micro influencer route if I was you. So let's talk about meta ads and TikTok ads now. Your ads need to be visually appealing. So for example, Gymshark has people wearing Gymshark clothing and either in the gym constantly. You never see a photo of them outside the gym. Usually that's really rare. And they're either posing in the mirror, lifting, whatever it may be inside the gym. So that's something that's really important, is that you need to make sure your image is visibly on point with what your audience wants to be doing or where they want to be, so it can resonate with them. So number two is authentic representation. Use models that are actually using the product. So example, Gymshark, they're using it inside the gym and they're either weightlifting, they're posing in the mirror. Maybe they're doing some athletic activity, like they're running or doing some cardio, whatever it may be, but they're actually doing that activity that the clothing is meant for. So that would be a real life scenario that people can relate to. Now, effective copy. So a lot of people shy away from long form copy. I was once like that too, but I really like using long form copy now, just because you can tell your brand story and add in things that you really couldn't with short form copy, but really tell the story of how the product came along or how the brand came along, whatever it may be, so you can really resonate with that cold audience when you're advertising. And once you tell that story, you can really connect on an emotional level. And we see this all the time when someone is talking to another person in real life and they ask me a question or whatever it may be, and I tell them a quick story, that really resonates with them emotionally, and they feel a little bit more connected than me giving a short answer to them, right? So storytelling is a big part of human connection. And if you storytell inside your ad copy, you're going to see some good results when advertising. We talked about storytelling a little bit before, and I think it's really big for advertising to tell your story and have your audience know your story so they can resonate with you emotionally. And that's going to drive an emotional connection between you and the brand to where they will support you and they will buy your product. Now, also in that long form copy, you should highlight key product features. So that means focus on what actually matters to your audience. So now we are telling our story, but now we also need to add in our product features of how this product might change their life or how it's going to help them in some way. So for example, for like Gymshark, we could add in our Gymshark shorts are made with ultra stretchy fabric. We could say our shorts are also 20 times lighter than our previous shorts, things like that, actual hard data points or facts that we can give to a cold audience to say, hey, boom, 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 these are the 3 benefits, or this is how it's going to change your life. And also mix in our story. It will be a killer piece of long form copy. And it wouldn't be a killer piece of long form copy without the CTA at the end. So please, when you're doing long form copy for your ad creatives, make sure you have a CTA at the end to actually go push that cold traffic to actually buy your product. What a lot of people don't do when advertising is they actually don't add in the CTA. Now you need to have the CTA. That's going to help increase your click-through rate, but also your conversion rate. So make sure you have a CTA at the end. If you don't, maybe missing out on a bunch of sales. And number 6, the most important thing that I stress all the time is A/B testing. You could do this through a DCT or a flexible ad, which you can find on my channel. And this is something that you should test with new image ads. And this is something that you should do all the time. And you can easily do this by changing out the headline, changing out the actual image, changing out copy for a different copy. And you could test all that to see what actually works the best. We do it all the time inside of DCT, which is now called Reflexible. And usually we'll try 3 different images with the same headline on the actual image. And then we'll keep our headline and primary text the same, which is our winning headline and primary text. And then we will add in a new headline and primary text about 99% of the time. So definitely recommend you test new ads because it's really important to find a new ad that's going to beat your previous ad. If your previous ad's at a 2x ROAS and you test an iteration of that ad and it has a 3x ROAS, you won't be mad because that ad is making you more money versus 2x ROAS ad that you could have just left and dealt with. So make sure you're testing new ads, make sure you're testing new headlines, new images, new copy to really find what resonates the most with a cold audience. So now I want to show you some examples of some ads. So this is through Foreplay, which is an ad creative software. It's a pretty good software if you want to use it. Giving them a little bit of a shout out. I do actually have a affiliate link. So if you want to purchase it, go to the description below and purchase Foreplay. It's like $50 a month, but it's really good for any agency owners out there or even any brand owners out there as well. But this is what the ad looks like. So as you can see, they're really pushing the off-duty icons, which is like girls that are off duty and wearing the loungewear, and they're always in Alo clothing. So really like this ad creative because it really resonates with their target audience. Now for the other ads that don't look high quality because I screenshotted them, but you can see we have one girl here that says final few sunsetting summer, which is her with like a water hose and some Alo clothing. It looks like she may be on a tennis court, but just kind of very Alo vibe that they push. And then you also have another guy that's super jacked. He's got some tats on him and it says new drop, get fitted for fall. And it's him with a rope inside like a Alo gym, and it resonates with the gym side of their audience. So Alo has a mix of a target audience. They have guys and they have girls. So each demographic wants to see different things. And so that's why you see this gym photo with the guy versus the clothing for the girls is a little more fitted towards maybe Pilates, casual loungewear, and things like that in that nature. But they run a bunch of ads on Facebook. You can go see their ad library on Facebook. They have over 600 ad creatives and you can really get a good sense of how they advertise. And I definitely recommend if you're a clothing brand owner, go to ad libraries on Facebook and go see what other brands are doing to get inspiration of what you should do for your brand. Now for landing pages, you should have number 1, at least an email capture right away, a pop-up that incentivizes people to give their email. That could be a $10 off coupon code, 10% off, whatever you want to give them. You can give them that code right away when they give their email and phone number if you want to do email and phone number, or you could push them towards their actual email where they open up the email that you just sent them that has the code in it. That will help your email deliverability, but push people off your site, which I personally don't like. I want to keep people on my site rather than pushing them off and potentially having them leave and never come back. So I'd rather have them stay on my site, but make sure you have an email pop up. It's going to help a lot with conversions and actually increasing your conversion rate. Now, product presentation, we talked about this before, but make sure you're showcasing your clothing on real models. It's not actually just your piece of clothing with a white background on it. Make sure it's on real models. You'll see a higher conversion rate if your clothing is on real people, just because it's human psychology. They don't want to see the piece of clothing on someone else before they get it for themselves. And I would also include multiple angles and also multiple lifestyle images. So that means if your clothing is really fitted for someone in the gym, make sure they're wearing that piece of clothing in the gym. It's really fitted for traveling. Make sure you have it when they're on a vacation in Aruba or Europe, wherever it may be somewhere exotic, who knows, but make sure you're showing that lifestyle if your piece of clothing is supposed to go with that lifestyle. Now, number 3, high quality visuals. Just make sure you have high quality photos on there. They're not some bad low quality photos that are going to hurt the looks of your site. And make sure your styling is all very similar on your actual site and photos are not all over the place on your site. I see that sometimes with some clothing brands out there where it's like, they have one person in the gym and then they have one person wearing their piece of clothing on the street in New York. It's like, okay, let's go back and see where our target audience really wants to see. So just make sure you have those high quality visuals. Now, number 4, for customer guarantees, make sure you have a guarantee because this will push people to buy your product. Now, a guarantee like Alo has, which is super simple. It's free shipping, free returns, and fast refunds, which is great. That's a great guarantee to have. That means I can go buy the product today, have it shipped to me. I don't like it. I can return it. I can get all my money back, and I'm not worried about losing my money on a product that I may not like, which I may not like after I purchase it from their site. So it's a great guarantee, and a lot of people actually won't use it. Most people actually just buy the product, and if they don't like it, they'll suck it up and keep it. And so we rarely see people actually use guarantees. Now, sometimes they do, and you have to deal with that with your customer service, but it's well worth having the guarantee because it boosts your conversion rate dramatically versus not having a guarantee, which will hurt your conversion rate. Now, number 6, mobile optimization. Make sure your website is good for mobile optimization, so it looks good on a mobile iPhone or Samsung phone, Google phone, whatever it may be, but also desktop as well. I know a lot of people focus solely on mobile, and the desktop looks a little bit funky, but a lot of times we do see 20% of our traffic come from desktop. So I would definitely look into making sure your desktop is also good and also your mobile, just because you don't want to be losing out on the 20% of conversions on desktop and then only maximizing on the 80%. I'd rather hit on the 100% of our website traffic rather than losing the 20. So make sure your website is optimized for mobile, and that will definitely help increase your conversion rate. Now, number 7, social proof. Make sure you have customer reviews below your product so they could see how many stars is it rated, and it's real people that are actually purchasing the product. Now, you can get customer reviews through a customer review email sequence you could put people through inside Klaviyo. Klaviyo is an email sending platform that we use for some of our e-commerce stores that we work with, and that helps get reviews to the products that they purchase. Now, also have UGC content. If people are making UGC content about your product and you didn't pay them for it, add that to your site. That's really good social proof that you could have on there, and you can link it to that product page, and it will definitely help increase the conversion rate for that product. And number 8 is fast load times. A lot of people don't have fast load times on their website. This is not a massive thing to worry about. It is something minor to worry about, but some people do leave if the website does not load fast enough. So make sure your website has a decent load time and it's not super heavy on content that's struggling to load. So if you have a fast load time, you will see a lot more people actually stay on the site rather than bounce. So now I want to pull up a website example. Now, I pulled up Alo as a good website example for this. We've been talking about Alo a lot in this video, so I just thought there'd be a good example to show you. I haven't got hit with their email pop-up yet, probably because I've already been on their site today, so I'm not getting hit with an email pop-up, but I will pop up the email pop-up right here so you can see it, and it's a pretty good email pop-up, fairly decent. It's nothing crazy, but they do a good job at it. And when you're on their homepage, they immediately show you a video that really captures the lifestyle of Alo. So it's very targeted towards women, a lot of women wearing their clothes, obviously in the street, and it's really showing some really pretty girls wearing Alo gear that is made to wear on the street or in the gym, wherever it may be. And so as you can see right here, they have collection pages of their matching sets, jackets, soft flares, leggings, all really important. Make sure you have collection pages for certain products. So you have a hats collection page, you have a jackets collection page, you have a sweaters collection page, t-shirts, shorts, whatever it may be. Make sure you have collection pages because when you're advertising, you can send people to the collection page versus just the actual product page, and it gives them a lot more options to purchase. Now if we simply click on a actual product, for example, let's do this neck pullover right here. As you can see, they actually have a model wearing the clothing. They have multiple sizes that they give you, multiple color options as well. As you can see, they have the free shipping, free returns, and fast refunds right here with reshop. So that's a good guarantee to have in there. And it shows you right here, this model is 5'7", wearing an extra small. So you can really judge now, hey, if I'm 6 foot, what should I get? I should probably get like a medium, or maybe I get a small. So good way to actually show people, hey, this is the model wearing it, which is going to help human psychology and actually purchasing it. But then also the aspect of the sizing as well, which they add in through the model height and what size she's wearing. So good way to do that. And also a video in here as well of her wearing it, which is fantastic. Shows multiple angles and how it actually looks in a video versus just a photo. And also you have similar items, just another upsell. So let's say they add that to their cart, they want to continue shopping. They have very similar options to this, which let's say maybe you don't like this fully. You can be like, okay, I like this track pullover better than the one I'm looking at right now. So good example. They don't have any reviews on this actual product page, but I've been to some other product pages on their site and the reviews on that product page. So this is a great website to model off of. They do a good job. Lululemon is also another great website to model off of as a clothing brand. And these brands do a great job on conversions from cold traffic and social traffic to their actual site. And so if you're a clothing brand that wants to scale and wants to implement some social strategies and also implement a good advertising strategy on Meta and TikTok ads, click the link below and book a meeting with us so we can scale your clothing brand and we could take it to $100,000 a month, $1 million a month, even more than that. So, but if you like this video, subscribe and drop a like. I'm dropping more content like this all the time. I'm going to come out with a consistent posting schedule. It'll probably be Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you guys next time.